Life in all its many-colored glory.
I knew I should have brought a parka. Whew.
Inside the barriers, double time! You with the Xeno unit? Ready to command. Far end of the compound.
I pride myself on knowing everyone on this world, and I don't know you. You're with the collection team then, I presume. Either that, or you're one deeply unlucky trespasser. Vanguard, eh? Ah, then this must be the
Commander Hatum.
No need for introductions, Major Simon. Dr. Walker, your reputations precede you, as does the urgency of your mission, so I'll get to it. Now, Londinium is one of the most dangerous places in the Milky Way. Terrormorphs are omnipresent, and the structural damage when Major Sinon's father bombed its spaceport has turned large swathes of them. As such, we'll be providing you all except one. Once you're on the other side of those barriers, do we understand each other? Precisely. I'll leave you to your preparations then. And I do believe there's someone waiting for you there, Captain. Now, once you're... though I can't guarantee it won't contain anything else. I hope you all find what you're looking for. Robot?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Commander. Percival, you all set to hook into their comms tower?
Should only take a few minutes.
Percival will be scanning this. All right. Head over to the armory and gear up. device while you're out there. Don't trust what the voices tell you.
Howdy.
Excuse me. You match our description. Make sure you...
Those codes will allow you to temporarily restore power to prison.
Well, that looks... painful.
All set on your gear? Then let's... Kaiser? Percival. Everything green on your ends?
I am ready.
Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now.
Someone.
You copy that?
Share the wealth.
Perhaps too loud.
Pleasure.
Oh, you're a riot robot.
Kaiser, kick it off.
Unlock code transmitted. You may open the gate when ready.
Alright. On our way into the city. Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. Got one. A Sealy's. Not far. Old shipping yard just past the processing plant. Chief said we're probably in one of the containers.
Shit. These things, they're all dominated. Clean them out. Keep an eye out for the more controlling.
Your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
Kaiser, we close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
Yes, they're faint, but I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored...
Get down there and collect as many as you can.
Open fire!
There you are. Feels like old times.
Kill protocols active.
Don't get nothing. It's going okay, man.
Now hand those over to Kaiser, and let's get out of here.
Nice work. Now, earlier scan picked up a valid sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did.
There are steam tunnels under the city, which will allow us to access the spaceport.
What do you... That's right.
I think Cora's
Kaiser, how did you know that?
happy to even out the load. stranger.
Sure.
Percival, you see any better option?
Not from where I'm standing.
Then we've got our answer.
Access unlocked. We may proceed.
Gotta ask.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it?
Confirmed.
You know, no one even realized it was a living thing until someone got it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinian. A real marvel. All these leeches. What's keeping you things warm? What's that? My God, look at it. A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only... What's happening? Captain, have you seen this? Oh my God. The heat leeches are Terrormorphs.
What? Those little nuisances can do that? Holy mother.
You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a Terrormorph. The pests that have snuck onto every planet are baby Terrormorphs. Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then, with time, they transform. We just found out how Terrormorphs move between planets. No, Lazarus plants can't grow anywhere but here, let alone blossom. People have tried. Plus, if what we just witnessed was happening anywhere else, well, it wouldn't just be Londinian lost to these things. What we just saw, it must be some kind of alternate growth method. One that winnows 70 years of maturation into seconds. It's incredible. Pretty major is the Lazarus plant. It's clearly an accelerant for the Terrormorph, a heat leech transformation process. Make one into the other in an instant. But that means if anyone knew about this, they could trigger a Terrormorph spawning. You could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches, into a place like New Atlantis. Good God. The attack on New Atlantis, does this... Could someone have set that up? Me neither. You'd have to know this all exists, first and foremost.
Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it.
We may proceed.
Go!
Safety's off.
to the bottom of Percival. Kaiser's got the cell data from the New Atlantis and Tau Ceti attacks, right?
Uploaded them myself.
Captain, let Kaiser take a look at that sample.
Beginning analysis. It is a match. This suggests with high certainty that the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attacks on both planets.
There's no way a plant this rare, this fragile, just shows up here, New Atlantis, and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is we just stumbled? Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant in action and used it to trigger the attack.
Using implements of nature as weapons of war. Where have I heard that?
Our Xenoweapons group never dealt with anything like this, though they probably would have liked to. No, whoever found this, they likely never expected they'd get caught. Makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test, someplace remote where no one would question a few settlers going missing. Ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, would be a success. And the timing of that one, it couldn't have been just luck that it happened right when we were asking the cabinet to do something about the Terrormorphs. These attacks, I think someone planned them to set all this in motion. A plant this rare but it doesn't answer any of the big questions. Who could pull something like this off?
Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the universe's closest equivalent to Hell Frozen Over. If we're gonna do anything to...
Roger that. Kaiser, get us into the spaceport?
The entrance is this way. I am unable to provide sufficient power to the lock mechanism.
Anyone got ideas where we could get some extra juice?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office. Upper floor.
Captain and I can scout it out. Kaiser, see if you can't find another way to get it open.
Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
There's the control panel. Still looks operable. Of all the things to survive.
Reactivated. Error. Control system reboot required.
And do that.
Reboot engaged. Running diagnostic. Diagnostic complete. Multiple systems unavailable. Warning. Priority safety concern detected. Exterior hatch power restored.
Back in business.
Warning. Emergency recorder message detected. Transcription process engaged. playback initiated.
Admiral Senna, we need to make the evacuation request.
That's my father he's addressing. He was here? Didn't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
Admiral!
It just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet will be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation, they're all in this facility.
Other than our casualties? Yes, sir.
Good. Get them into defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. I'll send ships as soon as possible.
Thank God. None of us wanted to go down swarmed by those things.
That won't be your fate, Colonel. You have my word.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon. He knew. He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk. Hey, Victus. You heard that recording. He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it away. He killed those people.
What? Yeah, as a general rule, don't back up the guy convicted.
He decided to sentence his own soldiers to death. But I guess that's just another part of his sick. Only he didn't succeed. Now someone else knows about the lab. Right. Kaiser, try it now.
Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you.
That doesn't sound good. Eyes peeled. Stash that sample with Kaiser and we're done.
Final sample secured.
All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here. Principal.
Look at all of you. Back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there. But it sounded like this was a success. Ah, best place for 'em. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Vay Victus knew about this damn plant?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond. I'm sorry, what?
Captain, now's really not the time to be making cracks like that. No. No, that can't be. I saw him. He's and you've known that, what? All this time? Oh, I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
Hey now. It at least...
Wait, what? Vay Victus is alive? Can the UC do anything right? Nah, let's let the convicted war criminal walk. Typical.
It also makes my father... Look, Percival and I, we need... But I think you, Captain, should get in contact with my father and find out what he... Good. We'll all meet back at mast. Best of luck, Captain.
Londinian has left me with a longing for Mira.
You're, okay, right?
devices. I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for? Good news, then. So, what exactly are you... Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusion. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. You know, you're far more clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terrormorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. Not a bad thought. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terrormorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. It's easy to judge now, but the Freestar Collective had spies everywhere. In that moment, I wasn't about to add another dangerous variable to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You. There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us, and we all... It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the cabinet isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity. With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday. You're being honored only because I arranged the situations where... And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. eliminating the Terrormorphs, securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. I've already sent along the evidence of Orleza's role in the attacks to the cabin. All I ask is that you can... After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good... That is a pity, Captain. Just think about the opportunity I've provided here.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant? I knew it. The second I heard that recording, I knew. Why? Did he say why he did it? It takes some deeply twisted logic to think anything did more harm to the Sanan name than him.
I know what it's like having a famous name, but this is flat out insane. Monstrous.
Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything like this ever again. I'm sure he did. But he killed dozens of people, and I'm not about to let him get away with something like that. So I guess that gives us our final, unless there was more to this might be our last opportunity to talk things through. They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the Asylees seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch them. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti.
And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terrormorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
My God.
An attack? Using Terrormorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlais commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlais? It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself. My father figured out how to use terrormorphs as weapons.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation you're leveling. considering Francois Sinon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A Terrormorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this. And said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain?
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Victus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately. I'm inclined to agree, Captain. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the 3 of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the Cabinet to ensure this can... As such,
A sound decision, Madam President.
We're already discussing the elimination of one species, Captain. Explain to me why you wish to eliminate another.
Or having the Freestar Collective make sure they actually do their job, like they should have done with Victus.
That is an idea with some merit to it. Decrease the likelihood of anything like this occurring again, and further relations between our 2 factions.
2 birds with a single stone. Very well. Thank you for the suggestion. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terrormorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long...
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology... Using it to wipe out the Terrormorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've had a few discussions, but our group is similarly split. Only the captain has yet...
I see. Captain, I know this may not be...
I'm in full agreement. No need be dealt.
I expect my evening constitutionals are about to be...
Hardly. You may just have a little more company than before.
Order, please. And Major Sinon? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day 1 for the United Colonies Terrormorph Management Division. Despite all your... with the Xeno Warfare Unit, or SysDef, the Cabinet still believes you all earned a display of gratitude for what... Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our rank.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank...
Oh, yeah. Thank...
Then I expect you'll be. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sanan.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander. He should be able to provide you with assignment on behalf of the whole of the United Colony. This meeting is adjourned.